Hi, good afternoon or good morning, everyone. Welcome to my On Demand. Today, you're going to get to talk about and learn about Ludwig van Beethoven. And there's a picture of him. Our objectives, you'll learn key concepts about Beethoven's music and his life, and review for some the Romantic era in music history. Pennsylvania Department of Education standards. Relate works in the arts to varying styles and genre and to the periods in which they were created. So in this case, we're talking about the Romantic era. Although he borders on two eras. Sickness and health. Beethoven was chronically ill for many years, suffering from stomach aches, depression, and irritability. But the source of his illness has never been fully understood. Recently, researchers tested some of his bone fragments and confirmed that Beethoven suffered from massive lead poisoning that could have caused many of his symptoms and may have even caused his death. Lead poisoning used to be much more common than it is now, since lead was often found in tableware and was added to wine and other food and drink. I'm going to turn my mic up a little bit. I'm worried that you're not able to hear me. Up, it is up all the way. Okay. So, did researchers dig up Beethoven's grave to get bone samples? Nope. The bones came from a California businessman who had inherited them as a part of a family legacy. At first, this person wasn't sure if the bones had actually belonged to the composer, so he sent them off to be compared to the DNA in Beethoven's hair, some of which is owned by the Beethoven Society. The DNA was a match. On the advice of his doctor, Beethoven spent some time in the summer of 1812 at Templus, a resort in what is currently the Czech Republic. While there, it is believed he wrote a series of letters addressed to a woman whom he called only Immortal Beloved. Beethoven never married, and the scholars disagree on exactly whom the letters are addressed to. Recent evidence suggests a woman named Antoinette Brentano, pictured there, the wife of a Frankfurt businessman with whom Beethoven spent considerable time during that period. There are 3 letters. The last one, written the morning of July 7th, ends, "Be calm, love me, today, yesterday. What tearful longings for you, you, my life, my all, farewell. Oh, continue to love me, never misjudge the most faithful heart of your beloved. Ever thine, ever mine, ever ours." Beethoven's Symphony No. 9 was performed for the first time in Vienna in 1824, along with some parts from another piece, the Missa Solemnis. Now, Beethoven only wrote 9 symphonies. Missa Solemnis is a mass, so he took part of a mass that he had composed and put that into part of his Symphony No. 9. Because of his deafness, Beethoven couldn't conduct the work, but he gave the tempo before each new movement. The concert was an incredible success. At the end, however, the story goes that Beethoven had his back to the audience and couldn't hear the roar of the applause. One of the young singers took his hand and turned him around to see the 5 standing ovations that he was given, an incredible sight in a time when even royalty only got 3. So that Beethoven could see the ovation even if he couldn't hear it, the audience raised their hands, lifted their hats, and waved their handkerchiefs in the air. It was a fitting tribute to one of the greatest composers who had ever lived. To get a sense of what it must have been like, you can check out the 1994 film Immortal Beloved, starring English actor Gary Oldman. The film recreates the scene and atmosphere quite well. Ludwig van Beethoven's funeral was held on March 29, 1827, and it was attended by upwards of 20,000 people. The funeral oration was written by Franz Grillparzer, pictured there, at the time the most famous poet in Vienna, and read by actor Heinrich Anschutz. It is still famous today, and it reads in part, We stand weeping over the broken strings of an instrument now stilled. An instrument now stilled. Let me call him that. For he was an artist, and what he was only through art. The thorns of life had wounded him deeply. He withdrew from his fellow men after he had given them everything and had received nothing in return. He remained alone because he found no second self. But until his death he preserved a human heart for all men, a father's heart for his own people, the whole world. Thus he was, thus he died, thus he will live for all time. Whenever during your lives the power of his works overwhelms you like a coming storm, when the rapture pours out in the midst of a generation yet unborn, then remember this hour and think. We're not going to do the word search. However, there is a movie on Beethoven. You are to watch the movie and then take the quiz, which is due October 20th, which is Monday. Also, a reminder, the Rhythm and Blues quiz is due today, October 16th. You still have to take the quiz on October 20th, the Beethoven quiz, even if you can't watch the movie. However, if you cannot watch the movie, you should call tech, tell them it is an MP4 file, and they should be able to resolve that very quickly for you if you are on a school computer. Okay, thank you everybody. We'll see you Tuesday, the 21st of October. Bye everybody. Thank you.